Chapter 10, Mishnah 4. The previous Mishnah listed documents that could be written with the consent of one of the parties to a transaction. This Mishnah lists documents that can be written only when both parties consent. We may not write the documents that are written at the time of betrothal and marriage unless it is with the consent of both the groom and the bride. A document of betrothal records financial agreements made by the bride's family and the groom's family before the marriage, and the document of marriage refers to the ksuba, which the groom gives the bride when they marry. Since each of these documents records monetary commitments that are made by both parties, they may not be written without the consent of both parties. But the groom alone pays the cost of writing the documents. Even though both the bride and the groom benefit from these agreements, the main benefit is received by the groom, and therefore he has to pay for the documents. We also may not write documents that describe sharecropping or tenant farming agreements unless it is with the consent of both the landowner and the renter. One can rent a field to farm it under either a sharecropping agreement in which he gives a percentage of the crop to the owner, or a tenant farming agreement in which he pays a fixed amount of produce to the owner every year. Since documents that formalize such arrangements create obligations upon both the landowner and the renter, they cannot be written into a document unless both parties agree. And the one who receives the field, that is the renter, pays the cost of writing the document, for he is considered the main beneficiary of the arrangement. We also may not write documents of choosing or any documents that record court judgments, unless it is with the consent of both parties. Documents of choosing are documents that are prepared when two people who wish to have their dispute settled by a court each choose a judge to be part of a beis din that will hear their case. The two judges then pick a third judge to complete the panel of judges. The document records the name of the judge chosen by each side, so that neither side can retract their choice. A document is also written recording the claims and arguments that each person advanced in court. Documents of court judgments are documents that record a verdict rendered by the court, or a document given to a litigant to give him the power to seize property in payment of a court judgment. These documents contain information that can potentially be a liability to either side. Therefore, they can be written only with both parties' knowledge, and both parties pay the cost of the documents of choosing between them, since they both benefit from having them written. The Mishnah cites a Tana who rules that documents that record litigants' claims are written differently. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, the two litigants write two documents, this one for himself and this one for himself. According to Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, each litigant can say that he does not wish the other litigant to have all of his claims and arguments available so he can study them and plan how he will counter them. To avoid this, we write a separate document for each litigant.